One of my favorite quotes comes from the TV show The Office. I wish there was a way to know you're in the good old days before you've actually left them. That's something I think about often. So this wood represents some of that to me, the good old days. This wood is from a picnic table that was outside my parents' house as long as I can remember. You can see the table in this newspaper clip with my dad showing off his cabbage. I remember playing Monopoly or Stratego with my friends on that table. I took the wood from the picnic table when we cleaned out my parents' house. I've made a few projects with it. I made a simple shelf for my wife, and we used one piece for a coat hat rack. We've got this area close to our front door. My wife asked that I build her a rustic pot holder to hold some of our cast iron skillets. So I decided I would use some of that wood for that purpose. There's a lot of lichen on this wood. I'll need to get that removed before I put it in the house. I'm going to use this brush. I'll put an Amazon associate link to the one that looks just like this. I've had this brush for many years and have used it a ton of times, so I'm not exactly sure if the Amazon link is this exact brush or not. I just put it on my drill. It does a pretty good job of removing the lichen and moss without removing too much of that weathered look. This wood was weathered naturally in the Arkansas sun, rain, snow, ice, and wind for around 40 to 50 years. This isn't the type of weathering that is easy to create or duplicate, so I don't want to ruin it. I'm not really a fan of taking old rustic wood and trying to make it look new. And I'm not a fan of taking new wood and trying to make it look old, weathered, or rustic. I just try to make the project match whatever wood I've got to use. You can see how well the brush removes the lichen, but leaves behind that incredible weathered finish. Now we'll blow off the dust a bit. I'll move inside to cut the wood to length. I'm going to cut 3 pieces of wood to create the size that we want for the pot rack. My rigid miter saw isn't big enough to cut all the way through this wood, and it isn't a sliding saw, so I have to flip the board over to complete the cut. Once I get the first board cut, I just need to lay it on top of the other boards to make sure all the lengths match. Here's the 3 boards cut to length. I played with how I wanted to position them for a while and came up with this as my favorite option. I just love all the gouges in the boards. This is exactly the look I was going for with this old wood. I need to figure out how to join these together. I was thinking about using a metal L bracket, but I was afraid I would have cut too far into the wood itself. I don't want to weaken the wood. I found another piece of weathered wood. I'm going to resaw that wood to make a couple of cross braces for the pot rack. I got so excited to film the B-roll for this resawing, I forgot to film the actual resawing itself. You'll just have to picture that in your head. Here's the resawn piece. I'm going to drill some pilot holes and secure it to the wood. Let's remove the clamps and reveal the finished piece. Let's get it flipped over. I'm so happy with the look of this wood. Every time I see it, I'll remember the good times of that picnic table as a kid. Let's take it inside and get it installed. We're going to need to find a stud. This thing is pretty heavy. Let me get it up on the wall. Oops, I may have knocked down a part of the blinds. Make sure you're using long enough screws to go deep into the stud. This rack is heavy, and the cast iron skillets that are hanging on it are heavy. You don't want this thing to fall and hurt someone. And just remember, wherever you are in your life, there's a good chance that at some point you'll look back on this as one of the good old days. So slow down and enjoy it. Watch the sunset. Sit outside and enjoy the rain. Put down your phone when you're having dinner with your family. In 20 years, you aren't going to remember that funny meme or that funny TikTok video, but you will probably remember the conversations that you have with your kids and with your wives. Here's the finished product with the cast iron skillets hanging there. I just got some screw hooks from Lowe's. Just pick up ones that are big enough to get a good bite into the wood and hold the skillets fine. We've got a few more skillets that we'll get added over time as we pull them out of storage. Thanks for watching. Y'all have a great day.